Kia ora tātou, te wānau no mai hoki mai, welcome back to another video. This is Pridezknack here clocking in for another one. In this video we're going to be going over a melee build that absolutely drains your opponent's stamina. For the last few weeks or so we've been mainly running ranged to hybrid builds, and I see some of you down in the comment section looking for a melee build, so this one's for you guys. Over the course of the video I'm going to give you examples of the build in action. I'm going to show you guys what it's doing to people's stamina. I'm going to show you the build. I'm going to go over some melee basics and the combo that you should use with this build, and also go over some melee tips and tricks to round out everything that you've learned. Before we get into it, show some love to the channel by smashing that subscribe button. That'd be much appreciated. And if you learned anything from this video today, let us know in the comments below, and if you find value in it, leave a like on the video as well. Nei rā ngā mihi. So first of all, let's have a look at some examples of the build in action from the POV of the person using it. The main reason is for you to be able to identify what this build might look like. You might have come across it in the past, or you might come across it in the near future.
4v bro, that's how funny it is.
On this build we're running Wedding Step, Suspensive Blast and Crippling Strike. Even though I prefer the Disruptor pistol, I switched to the Dart for Every Man just to switch it up. Take note of the way we're using Crippling Strike and Suspensive Blast. Taking note of the visual cues here, I knew he was exhausted on the first slow blade. On the second he regained enough to dash out. He continues to dash, so I know he's low in stamina and also low in health here. It's always super hard to not slot in something like Shigwire. I slot on Sidestep here as my gap closer. It's also a real good ability to use with Crippling Strike. You can teleport to enemies who are above you, below you, who are in range. You can use it as an interrupt on the enemy when they're about to take down your teammate as well. Yep, I got him. Shoot left. Yeah. In terms of cooldowns, normally it's 15 seconds. When you hit that spice mode though, only 7-second cooldown. Along with Crippling Strike, you have Prescient Strike on this build to add more damage to the build. And if your teammates are already engaging in the melee, just step back and shoot your dart. The dart is most effective within its damage range, that 8 to 10 meter range. If you shoot outside of that, it does absolutely nothing to shield or non-shielded enemies. Thanks now, buddy. Now that we've covered Sidestep, what the hell is this build even doing to people's stamina? Well, let me show you. Without going into detail, Crippling Strike strikes people below the knee, it slows them, and if you dash within this ability, it tanks the hell out of your stamina. This can change depending on the gear that you're using. I typically use 2 heavies and 3 light pieces of armor, specifically Power Harness Chest and Circuit Gauntlets, which is pretty standard for everyone, but also X-Core leggings to help with dashing and that. When running a range build, I recently changed to 3 heavy and 2 light pieces of armor, mainly to win the shoot off when the shields are down. It can be pretty rough when you're facing a pretty skilled melee user, and since testing this build, I switched the Circuit Gauntlets out for Pincushion Gauntlets. Going back to the build, I just want to show you the stamina required when dashing in a Crippling Strike. And this is the required stamina after you get hit with a Suspensive Blast. As you can see in those examples, they require exactly the same amount of stamina. So what happens when you get hit with Crippling Strike and Suspensive Blast straight after it? Damn! Say goodbye to 1.5 of your stamina bar. That's with maxed out passives that has to do with stamina as well. You can do it in reverse as well, doesn't matter. We were waiting for the server to shut down for the most recent hotfix. We thought we found something new, but I watched another Dune video from another creator about one day before making this video, and I could tell his buddy that they were PvPing with was saying, I'm gonna double debuff to be careful. Oh my god, stacked. And in that video, this is the combo he was doing. He wasn't exactly doing it with sidestep, but I thought I'll slot that in for my build, and there's definitely people out there throughout the Dune world using this tech. I'm just wondering if it's better to quick blade you first. So if you love melee builds, give this one a shot and go out there and suck the stamina out of all those sleepers. But you know me, I can't throw this build at you and let you guys go out there like headless chickens spamming the hell out of these abilities. Let's go over some melee basics to help you go from looking like a noob to looking like an elite swordmaster. Let's begin with identifying what your goal is with this build. Your objective is to force your enemies to use all of their stamina in quick succession. To break that down even more, you want to hit them with crippling stroke and suspensor blast. After that, you want to quickly force your enemies to dash while under the effects of those abilities. You can achieve that by using quick or heavy melee attacks. Once they dash, the double debuff will be in effect, and then their stamina should pop anytime soon. On this day I just respec to this build, we went to G3 and it was the perfect opportunity to test it out. In this moment he's dashed twice already. He manages to slip behind the locked door, so I turn my eyes to something else and bring him back out. I managed to parry him and he counter parries me, but watch as he attacks. Man's stamina is so low he staggers. I get a little greedy here as I try to pop his stamina and I get caught. My teammate ends up dropping his, and as he went behind the door, my other teammate came behind him with a mine, and then he was overs. Dead now, buddy. Okay, let's talk about Stagger. There are two types of Stagger. There's half Stagger and then there's full Stagger. Ideally, you never want to slow blade on a half Stagger. The reason is because it leaves you open to being parried. Instead, telegraph how many quick attacks you can do before they fully stagger. Usually you can tell if they have max poise damage reduction by counting how many quick attacks you can do before they fully stagger. On the top end, people with max poise damage reduction will be around 5 quick attacks. On the low end, it only takes about 3 quick attacks. Try identify that number as quick as you can so you know exactly when to slow blade and force them to dash out of it. Once you've collected all of the information, you have a recipe to finish your enemy. He makes a mistake here, so I capitalize, apply the double debuff, and when he dashes, it's GG's. Okay, let's try and talk about dashing and parrying together. With dashing, there's times when you absolutely should dash, and if you're like me, there's times when you dash too much and it's wasted stamina. In my experience, there's 2 ways you should use dashing. One is when you absolutely need to dash out of a slow blade when you're fully staggered. Or 2 is more of an offensive dash, is when you see the enemy slow blade coming and you dash early and start quick attacking them as a counter attack. It was good to see the Bindu strikes, but I knew he slow blade straight after it, so I dash early. It's best to dodge into them or behind them. Not only is it good for counter attacking, but it's good to reset your character or get ready for a parry. Speaking of which, let's get into the parry. The parry is your ultimate defensive tool. It doesn't cost stamina, but in return it does stall it. After honing into the skill, it's become much more cost effective, which means that I stay in the fight longer and ultimately win more fights. When it comes to PvP, it's mostly the war on stamina. The person who utilizes their stamina in the most cost effective and efficient way usually wins the fight. As this guy's friend interrupts me from taking him down, notice that I don't dash until it matters. My teammates end up taking down his friend that we were fighting originally, and now it's me and him. If the slow blade is delayed, it's open to being parried. Commit more to parrying half staggered slow blades. You can notice the same mistake we keep doing is slow bladed on a half stagger. The boys end up respecting the 1v1, so I had to put in that mai. After using abilities, dashing, parrying, I know that he's low on stamina here, but we gotta regain ours as well. I have a feeling that I'm winning the stamina battle, and when I see him healing, it's time to kill. Sure enough, his stamina pops. Let's get into the gear and the build. First we'll start off with the build. It's not going to be too much different from most builds, but it just caters more, well, it's more of a melee heavy build. In the trooper build, I've only went half. I've only put 2 points on the range damages on both of them. Center of mass is max, of course. That's going to be our first technique. I maxed disruptor damage because I wanted to switch to a dart for every man, just to switch it up. Always max out the scatter gun as well, which is very nice. Suspensor blast, going to be our second ability here. The good thing about wedding step, or in this build in general, is Shigawa or Shigawa claw is a good replacement for wedding step, more so when you're out fighting on land masses probably. But for the most part, wedding step does what I needed to do. It closes the gap, obviously. You can TP on them. For the mentat tree, I went half on range damage as well, but I didn't max the rifle damage just because I had extra points. Pistol damage, just in case I wanted to go back to the Regis Disruptor pistol, I thought I'd throw that one back in there. And if we ever spice, we got shield overcharge as well to help pop shields. I did get gravity mine too. You don't have to for the purpose of this video, but I just thought, why not? Planetologist, same one. Max overcharge, max rerouting for that power shield combo. And then on the Benichi, we got manipulate instability. When you stagger someone, whether it's an NPC or an actual player, you get 20% bonus damage on that. We maxed the blade damage on here too, of course. We got weird step, which is our first ability, which you'll see throughout the video. In terms of the health buffs, all of them are maxed, the usual ones. And we're also running full poise damage reduction as well. So Prana Bindu stability is slotted there. And then we also pair that with solid stance, of course. I just feel like you have to use this combo. It's just pretty powerful when it comes to melee. Maybe in the near future we can take those off and see what we can do, see what we can come up with and slot something else. Obviously blade damage again max, and we got long blade damage maxed as well because we used the helix pick. The rapier, in my opinion, is like one of the most deceiving type of melee weapons. Like, it's quicker than you think, the reach on it is longer than you think, and it surprises me at least quite a bit, and it makes it hard to parry, in my experience. Obviously, we got a solid stance here as well, like we just mentioned. And in terms of the stamina buffs, we got all those maxed as well with the crippling strike, which pretty much completes our kit when it comes to abilities and techniques. But that's what's going to look like. It's pretty standard. I did add prescient strike just in case we spice up. We spice up like barely. Mainly in melee builds, you're probably going to spice a lot, or when it comes to group versus group PvP. But other than that, it's just like a little buffer that I put on there too. and I'm currently level 195, so take that into account as well. And that's going to be our build. So that's going to be our video for today, Te Wānau. It is a bit of a lengthy one, but I think it's necessary. I hope you got to learn something. I hope this build helps you out there in the Dune Awakening world as we inch closer to mastering PvP in this game, because this channel is all about learning and slow motion is better than no motion. But before you leave, please check for me that you've smashed that subscribe button. If you found any value or learned something new in this one, please leave a like and let's talk about it down in the comment section. Nei rā te mihi nui kia koutou katoa. From me to you, have a great day, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video. Mā te wā. Happy.